I'm gonna say that shit right now because I know you're gonna put it in the video. I put more work in than any other car in Arizona. Period. I have the most consistent car on the streets of Arizona. Period. I have the fastest small tire street race car on 28s in Arizona. Period. I do not need to cheat my way to a win when I can drag anybody's ass anytime I want. We can get it on a prep road. I don't need to cheat my way to a win. I earn my wins. I lose sometimes. Fuck yeah, I do. But normally, half these motherfuckers that are on there talking shit, they will never line up. They would never grab a lane with me because I'll drive out of all their fucking lives.
I love this.
I mean, I like buttholes, bro. So don't be fucking scared of me with some shit like that, bro. You guys know what shit looks like. You know what I'm saying?
All right, guys. So we have the winner of the Shutdown Showdown 11, Mr. Brent from Arizona. How you doing, Brent? Thank you so much for doing this with me. I thought it would be really cool to bring kind of like an insight of this shootout's winner. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just hanging out, relaxing, enjoying some time at home off work. Yeah, man,
Nice.
that Shutdown Showdown was awesome. We're stoked to get a win. You know, we've been to a few of them, so.
I think it's a dope place, man. I think it's dope the way they got everything working, man. Everything from the test and tune to the few classes. You as a driver, tell me what you think, man. How was it?
It was awesome.
Yeah,
Those
right.
guys put in a lot of work. It's a great event for all types of racers, from racers from my level all the way down to guys just trying to have fun in their daily driver. They could just enter the test and tune class, and it's an awesome thing that these guys are doing. Josh, all of them, Chuck, all those guys put in all kinds of work. Their whole crew, and my hats off to them. I appreciate everything that they do. I know as doing a few promoting or street promotions myself, I know what it takes, and then the one big one so far, it takes a lot. So for them to put in the work, it's awesome.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
dude. It's 100%. It's a lot of work. It can be stressful at times because as much as you try to make everything work, nothing will go to
yeah.
plan, you know. So hats off to them, man. Shutdown Showdown 11. That means it's their 11th one, and I gotta say, first of all, you've put in a lot of work, bro. Congrats. I just want to say that. I just want to say that because I honestly, I've seen you. I've seen you come a long, long way. Like even before you didn't know me, honestly, bro. Like I think the first time that I got to see you was over there in Kingman, where Stir Fry had his green Lambo, and the finish. I think the last race was I think you versus Brian, and then you guys got into a heated.
Oh yeah, because the coolant thing on the Blazer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That's where I really got to learn who Brian, Brent from AC Boys, who they were at, and uh, you guys are good people. I just gotta say that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that once we get into a different topic. But you've come a long way. Your car, like, what have you done to it to this point to where now you're winning constantly? I want to say.
yeah. I'm trying, man. I mean, it's a lot of just putting in work, like everybody says. It's a constant test. It's a constant grind. I mean, I have a few people that I'd say were like idols. You know what I mean? I mean, I looked up to a lot of the bottom 10 guys at first.
Mm-hmm.
Nate, Callie, Nate, of course. And Billy Z, a few other people, and I've really kind of picked their brain and asked questions and just tried to really soak it up and learn,
Yep.
and actually genuinely learn, and not
Right.
just listen, but actually learn.
There's a science
And
behind it, right?
there really is, man. I mean, and there's a lot of things that you don't know until you go and test. It's not about just going out, going down the road, and you're like, okay, cool, and went down the road. I'm gonna leave it in the trailer until there's a cast days.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. You can do that and have fun and be competitive, and I'm not saying that you can't do that, But for me, I have a drive where like I want to win. I want to be remembered. I want to be one of the OGs one day. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I want
Yep.
to stay putting in work to where people remember me whether they like it or not, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right, right.
So to be competitive and win and constantly win, it's a full time job almost. I
It
mean,
is, huh?
it's constantly testing. It's sets of tires. It's fuel. It's the time away from your family. It's the time away from work sometimes. You know, thankfully I have a good job and it helps me to where I could do this. But I still have a job and I still have work to do. You know, so it does put a strain on it sometimes.
Right.
But it is. It's a lot of work to get back to that subject. It's a lot of work, hours. You know.
What's like your biggest advice? Because I feel like you've gotten to the point where now you can start giving people advice, right? Like I've seen you grow. It's very true how you say, asking these people questions and just following their steps. And I feel like now you're at the point where you could really give advice to especially the young generation, because I feel like those are the ones that are going to keep this sport alive later. What's
Oh
like your,
no, for sure,
you know
for
what I
sure.
mean? What's the
Yeah, they,
biggest advice for
I
them?
I say just don't be afraid to ask people. You know, a
Hmm.
lot of people I think are maybe. I mean, maybe it's just because Nate. I'm sure Nate's inbox probably gets blown up all the time, and maybe because he knows that I'm out there actually putting in work to where he actually helped me,
Right,
and I'm sure I'll get the same way when I get, you know what I mean. I'm sure if my inbox starts blowing up,
right.
I might not be able to answer everybody,
Yeah,
but um, don't be afraid to ask. I
yeah.
mean, ask and learn. That's the only way. I mean, aside from spending the time out and learning yourself and trying different things, you could get a lot of a head start by just asking and just, hey man, what do you think the best suspension setup is, or send a video. That
Right,
way, to me it seemed like you get a lot further when you actually are out testing, and you're not just sending a question to somebody like, hey man, if I did this, what do you think about this? You actually send a video and you're like, hey, look, I tested, this is what happened, what do you think I should do? And then you make the changes that are suggested, and you send another video, hey, this is it with what you told me to do, what do you think now? I
right.
think that goes a lot further as well, because then the person that you're asking for help or whoever, they know, all right, this person is kind of serious, they're actually out doing it. It's not
100%.
just an asshole, as a lot of people would say.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a lot of those people right now already. I mean, you're right. I do. I have the asshole people, I'd say, that ask questions, and you find them doing the exact opposite, and it's
Right.
like, hey, well, whatever. It's all good, no problem.
So then, let me also ask you this: what's the biggest mistake you think you've done getting to this point where you're at now?
I've tried really hard to not let the cockiness get to me. I'm
I
gonna be
like that.
100% real.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Yeah,
But it has. I mean, I can't say that I have a big head, and I there's a lot of times where I say some cocky shit, and I'm like, fuck,
yeah.
damn, that was kind of a little too much,
Right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, if you can walk the walk, then talk the talk. But
100%.
I know that puts a lot of sour taste in a lot of people's mouth, and the people like you that genuinely know me know that I'm
Yep.
a good guy and I'll do whatever.
Yep.
I'll go out of my way for anyone. But a lot of people, when they see just the cocky aspect, they might not. They're like, ah, that guy's a fucking dickhead.
I do love that you bring that up, because yes, you need to, sometimes just wear it,
Yeah,
you've worked hard for it. You bust your ass off, a lot of sacrifices also are from home as well, like even myself going out of town to a lot of these trips, it's like you said, dude, 100%, 1,000%, you're away from the family quite a bit. So sometimes you got to wear it. You got to, just wear the swagger, you've
yeah.
gotten to the point where you are that guy.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna say some goofy shit, but I don't even care. I remember 3 years ago or so, I told my little clique of people like Brian and other little AZ boys. I told all my homies when I first started street racing, and I saw Nate. I was like, that I want to be the Arizona Cali Nate.
I
Like
like that.
I want to be the AZ version of Cali Nate. It's gonna be the great value version because I don't have the budget like he does.
Right.
But I'm gonna be the great value version, Arizona Cali Nate. You know what I mean? Like I want to be the guy that when you roll up to the cash days, people are like, "Fuck, man, that fast motherfucker's here."
Yep.
But not only like I want that for me, but I want that for the people that roll with me. That's the
100%.
thing, is I'm
Yep.
not selfish. You know what I mean? I
Yep.
want that for I want that for my clique of guys. Whether that's my outlaw race guys, whether that's the AZ boys, whether that's just the AZ team when we go out of town to like New Mexico for a cash days, and there's
Yep.
only 3 or 4 of us. I want all of us to ride together or die together. And I think hopefully eventually people will see that. There's a lot of animosity and there's a lot of drama that goes along with street racing, and
Yep.
it is what it is. But at the end of
100%.
the day, I just want Arizona to be on the map. I just want
I
Arizona
like
to
that.
be known for having some fast cars.
I like that. And to add to your point about sometimes like we said, it's good to just wear it and be that guy because like I said, you've worked hard for it. But to add to your point, the difficult thing about the internet is sometimes, or just the world really, it's just sometimes people look at us, or I just want to say you, differently. For example, just taking things out of context, right? Like I want to tell you like a personal experience right now that has a lot to do with you is you know how we go out there and sometimes we're yelling at each other and sometimes I mean we've had it happen. We get mad at each other, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
you fucking walked away from me,
yeah, and
motherfucker.
I've had I had Brian one time at a shootout in Vegas. Like he was yelling at me and shit, and my brother who doesn't know Brian, he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, what's up with that?" And I'm like, "Yo, chill, chill, chill. It's all good, bro. Like Brian and Brent are good people. Like I've seen this plenty of times. Like Brian." And you've done this too. Literally later after we get into it, you will come up to him and be like, "Hey, bro, is everything good? Like, let's work this out, right?" Like, and like you said, like again, to add to your point, it's like, we know that, and it's unfortunate that sometimes people either don't know that or can't tell, right?
Yeah.
That at the end of the day, it's a brotherhood, and if we get into it, you know, next day we're gonna be fine. So that's what I want to say about you, and that's what I want people to get out of this video is that if they ever see you talking shit, it's because you're having fun. That's how Brent is. He loves having fun. He loves talking shit in a fun brotherly manner, right?
Yep.
And it means no harm to nobody. You're a family guy. You have better shit to worry about, right?
Oh no, legitimately, for sure. At the end of the day, I mean, street racing stuff is my life, so I do take that stuff serious. But I love life's too short
It
to
is.
life's too short to like not have fun,
It
man.
is.
And like if I can turn everything into a little bit of fun, whether it's racing, whether it's work, whatever it is, I'm gonna try to put a little humor in it. And I like to put a
100%.
little spice in it, man. And that little bit of shit talking, especially if you know how to talk shit a little bit, like you're not insulting them, you know what I mean?
100%.
But you're just that stuff is spicy to me, and I love that. And I
It makes it
think
a lot more fun. Yep.
I can honestly say, and I'm not trying to take any credit, but since I have moved to Phoenix over the last 2 years, I can honestly say I think that the street race scene has been rekindled a little bit and has gotten a little bit more spicier since I've gotten here and talked some shit and kind of said, hey, I'm the fastest small tire in here. Come get some. You want some? Come get some.
Yep.
And it's gotten, dude. There's people making their cars competitive as fuck. Like,
Yep.
George, Shane, all them guys, all these guys that you saw out the shutdown, like, dude, I'm stoked for all these guys to have a little
Yep.
clicks, have their little cliques of racers and all this stuff. I am really excited. I think Arizona street racing is going in a direction that I had always hoped it would go.
Yep.
I hope everybody maintains and knows that it's all in love and we're all friends at the end of the day.
Yep.
But we need to have some competition.
A
We
hundred
need
percent.
to talk a little shit to each other. We need to race each other a little bit. We need to like get gapped or gap someone. We
Yep.
there has to be that competition. Otherwise, we're just gonna be at a stalemate and we're never gonna get faster. And
A
we're
hundred
gonna get our
percent.
asses kicked if we go out of town.
100%. 100%. And like I said, just wear it, bro. You've worked hard for it, and honestly, yeah. I mean, as far as Arizona goes, you're the one that has just been doing this for so long that hey, wear it. Wear the fucking jacket or whatever it's called. But like again, congrats,
What?
brother.
Thanks, man. And there's guys that have been in Arizona that have been street racing a lot longer than I have and putting
Yeah.
in work, and they just kind of hang out in the shadows now. But those are the guys that I kind of cling to now.
Yep.
Those are, as you're saying, what things have I done to get better? I talked to those old G's of street racing. I talked to the old guys that used to race down here. There's some of them that still race with us. Tim
Yeah.
Rigby is one of the OGs that been street racing since before most of all of us were born.
A hundred
That guy
percent.
knows some shit.
Yeah, yeah,
And
100%. No disrespect to none of them, and I guess
oh
the
no,
yeah,
yeah, I'm not saying it like that.
yep,
I'm
yep,
just like I'm just saying like, and they tell me they love it. Like they love that I'm rekindling this shit or talking shit and trying to make it. You know what I mean? It's been
100%.
at a stalemate for a while, and they
Yep,
all know that. They love it. I think that's why Tim loves helping me. I think he's kind of like reliving himself in me. I love Tim, man. He's an OG. He's man. That's my dog right there. Like and I'd be lying if I didn't say like I want to be one of the OGs. Like I said, I want to be that guy in fucking 30, 40 years. I want to be that guy that's
yep.
been around putting in work, that's been fast,
Spreading
that,
knowledge.
that people respect and people have, you know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, like, what's your opinion on this? You've been
Yep.
around. I want that to be me one day. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm going to stay putting in work. I'm going to stay in this sport. This stuff is in my veins.
I love it, bro. I love it because, like I said, the next generation is what's more important because those are going to be the ones keeping this going, and not only keeping this going, but the ones that are going to keep. You know how you mentioned that you want people to remember you even when you're not around. So teaching the next generation is, they're the ones going to be talking about the way you talk about Tim, right? So that's kind of like the deep and beautiful part about this sport. Obviously, like you said, there's always those rough parts.
Yeah.
So now that you guys got to meet Brent a little bit, know who he is, know where he comes from. Of course, I'm gonna add his Instagram on the screen, his Facebook, so you guys can follow him. Again, like he said, just ask questions.
Yeah.
He'd love to help anybody. His YouTube channel. That way, now you guys get to see more of him from his perspective.
Yeah,
Um,
trying to get that going. We just started on that, so hopefully, like I said, I'm gonna stick with that. We just got some more cameras. I just got a
nice,
360 camera, so
nice.
hopefully, like I say, and everybody that's listening, if you guys subscribe to the channel, feel free to comment and give me your insights because I'm learning this shit as I go. So
And we all are, and like I said, I'm adding that all on the screen throughout the video, so you guys could check it out. And again, now that you guys know Brent a little bit more, know who he is, I want to get back to the Shutdown Showdown.
yeah,
Now,
let's dive in.
all right. So, for those of you not familiar with Shutdown Showdown, this was just outside Phoenix, Arizona. Do you? I can't remember the name of the track. What was it? Do you know?
Yeah, it's Wild Horse Pass, but
Wild Horse Pass, right?
they do it at the back of the track.
Back of the track, which I think it's badass, bro. Like I wish out here in Vegas we had something like that because I feel like it would be a lot more busy. This no prep stuff is getting really, really popular. So Wild Horse Pass, just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Really fun night. How many cars was this shootout
I want to say it was like 22 or
for
something.
the
20,
small tire, right?
yeah, 22 and small tire, I think, is what they came up with.
And what was the payout? Do you remember?
I want to say it was like $100 buy-in, so I think $2,200, but they
2,200
gave second place a decent amount. So
Okay.
I walked away with 1,200. I think it was $1,200 when I won.
So 22 cars small tire. They had other classes. I mean, they had about I want to say close to. They had a lot of cars. I can't
Yeah.
even keep count. They had big tire, NA, and stick shift. Really good night. So you went, I think, 4 rounds. The first round here, I have it here on the video. If you're still able to see, first round was against George,
Yep.
right? And there was a problem with the light. I don't have it here with me now, but once I finalize this video and we're watching it now, this is the second one actually. There was an issue with the light, right? If you could explain exactly what happened.
Yeah. So the first race, we do our burnout. They pull us up to the line, and then the flagger gives us, of course, like normal, gives us that last signal, like, hey, come up on boost. And then he looks over at me, come up on boost, and then they run back and bang the light. So he gives George a hand signal. He gives me a quick hand signal and runs back. But as he's running back, like he brings the light up, but the flashlight was already on. So I
Mm.
just let off the gas. Like
You just
I
stay
just
there, right?
stopped. Yeah, I didn't even move. I didn't even keep building boost. I was only on the two step for probably like 1 second or so when we looked at the data. I think it was like 1.2 seconds or something. I just let off though because like I saw as he was running back, I saw that the light was on. So I thought like they'd say, "Hey, yo, 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 you know the light's on," or I didn't know. I didn't know what the heck was gonna happen. I guess honestly, now that we're
Yep.
talking about it, I just figured the light wasn't on. That ain't right. Or the light was on. That ain't right. I figured they'd do like a reset. You know what I mean? Like the light's not on.
Yep. I just want to say that shows experience, because I've seen enough races by now. I think that a lot of times all you have to do is just sit there and let everybody know, hey, that wasn't a good light, good whatever it was, right? Sometimes we get I say we like as if I'm in the fucking car. Sometimes everyone gets so caught up in the moment that your first instinct is just to fucking run, right? And then people want to say chase is a race, whatever, all that bullshit. And like I
Yeah.
said, that just goes to show experience. You stay there.
That's exactly why I stayed there because I didn't want. I knew it wasn't enough time for either one of us to have been on boost. Like and he went, but I knew that he wasn't on boost yet. There was no way. Like the guy's light was on way too early, and George went as soon as he saw any kind of light. He went, which I get it. You see light, you go. I like I said, man, I was sitting there because I was hoping that I guess I was thinking he was gonna sit because the light was on right away and
Right,
neither one of us were on boost,
right,
so they'd redo it, you know, and re flag or whatever.
right.
So, but I didn't chase once he left. Once I saw him leave, I didn't. There's no reason to chase because I
Exactly,
knew that
because
there was an issue with the light and we could just talk this out and get it fixed, you
and
know.
that's what they did, right? They reran, and this clip right here that we're watching now, this is the second clip. The first pass that George did was really good. I don't know, I'm not sure this time around. I think it would have been a pretty good race. I don't know if he was ready or not, but I don't know what happened. But it's just one of those things where it's like I want to quote, and I'm over here getting all philosophical and everything. The harder you work, the luckier you get, right? And I feel like that was your night this night, right? You were telling me how every pass was like shitty, right? Because you were having issues with your tire.
Yeah, I think it was a combination of a few different things. We had found so at the Casa Grande race the weekend before we had the wastegate failure, and when we were upon fixing the wastegate failure, we had realized that the wastegate didn't fail. It actually just had a screw back out inside the wastegate and it was keeping it open.
Interesting.
And when we took the wastegate off to fix it, we noticed I had probably about 3 or 4 decent cracks all over the hot side
Oof.
that I hadn't noticed.
Hmm.
So my guy Jeff at the shop freaking made quick work, busted him out, and got him welded up for me. And, fixed him up for me. Thank gosh. So I
Hmm.
think that we were dealing with a combination of having the cracks fixed and having more power now,
Hmm.
and having no test hits whatsoever. Like I literally just fixed it at the shop, and we went to shutdown.
Hmm.
So I think like the tune-ups that we have had in the car for Casa Grande and then testing, they could have had the cracks in the wastegate, so it was down some power. On top of I was on a DO6 tire, which I normally don't run. I
Hmm.
just kind of was trying it. It
Something
had
new.
worked for me. It had worked for me like a long time ago in the past when I first started water only, but I think it was only a band-aid. I think it was just a new tire thing and it was just a band-aid and got me going. The second time I tried them was at your race in Cal City,
Hmm.
which it did the exact same thing. Basically, it was doing here, just hazing the tires all the way down the track.
Hmm.
And I eventually lost to Cali Nate because you can't haze the tires against Cali
Yeah,
Nate.
you
You know what I
can't
mean?
do anything. Yeah.
You can't fucking blink against that dude.
It has to be perfect, right? Yeah. Uh,
So, it's all part of that expensive experience that
yeah.
we're talking about. It's all chalk it up as a loss, and I'll chalk it up as a learning experience because my car was I was on the struggle bus
The whole
all
time,
weekend,
right?
all
And
day, all night, every single pass. Not until the last pass did it finally go down when we finally cut half the power out of the damn thing
and
against Gene.
that's what I try so hard to get people to understand is that okay, yes, obviously it's important to have a good fast car, right? But at the end of the day, it's the amount of work you put in, you and your team, to make sure everything or as many things as possible go right, right? Because you're saying only the last pass of that night was good, right? And
Yep.
still you made it to the final, right? So,
Yeah,
uh,
and a lot of that is luck too. I mean, I'll be the first to
exactly.
tell you. I'll be the first to tell you. I had a lucky night of racing.
Yep.
I haven't had a lucky night of racing yet. I have been around several people that, and I'm like, man, you lucky motherfucker, you know. The Saturday night was my lucky night of racing because as we progress and we watch the videos, I'll explain it as we go. But my car was struggling. I did not have the fastest car there that night. Andy drove out of my life, you know. Andy beat me, and plain as day. And if Andy wouldn't have jumped, he still would have beat me. He had his car dialed a lot more than I had my car dialed at that current time and day, you know. For whatever reason, whatever the hell I was struggling with,
Hey,
um,
it's like
part
we
of
said,
racing though.
it's luck, man. It's luck, and luck doesn't just come to anybody. It's just a matter of just putting in the work. I'm a firm believer, man, that
Oh,
you
for
keep
sure.
trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. Eventually, luck is gonna be on your side, and this is you, man. This is how it goes down. So it's a perfect transition for the next topic that you brought. Before we do that, that
Oh
was
yeah, the
George.
Byron.
The second run, it was the buy run,
Yeah.
which your car was like hauling ass, bro. Like I was like, God, I don't. And you're saying that wasn't even like a good pass?
No, I had because I had turned it down for the first pass, you know,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make it against George. So when they let us, I made a test hit against George.
Mm-hmm.
George made a hit when the light came on, so they let me make a hit down the track to make the rerun fair.
Oh, okay.
And on that hit, it just like it was a shitty hit, so I had turned it down. So when I reran George, I had turned it down a lot, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh fuck, this is horrible. Like it still spun, but I was like, fuck, it spun worse. I turned it down too much.
Right,
So when I hit the buy run, I turned it up back a little bit,
bro.
trying to try stuff. And
I'm gonna put the volume up for that, dude. I was like, God damn, like that car was moving on that run. Hang on, let's see. Are you able to hear it?
yeah,
Like that shit sounds like a fucking sonic boom, bro. That shit was moving. You'll be able to hear it a lot better on the final video once I post this. Right now we're on a call through the PC, but that was the buy run. That was the second round. You got the buy run. Third round, you got. Let's see. Did I already?
Andy Holman.
Now, like I said, perfect transition to the next topic. Andy.
No, so I mean, you know, we pull us up to the line. He has a little bit of issues, as you guys could see. You know, he had some nitrous backfire, I think is what it was, or something like that, or he accidentally hit the purge button or something. I can't exactly remember. But they had some issues. You know, he got it fixed. You know, we do our burnout, and man, he just checks out on me. Like when they banged the light, he put two on me out of the gate.
Yeah, you
And I thought about it. I was like, oh man, did he just put two on me out of the gate that bad, or did he jump a little bit? Like, was I sleeping that bad? Like, what the heck happened there?
Yeah, you can see it right here. I'm playing it now, and bro, I was just as surprised as you were. Like, I knew it was gonna be a good race. I knew for sure it was gonna be a really good race. But when I saw this, I swear to God, I was quiet. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Just did Brent just lose like that?" I
Yeah.
was like, "This."
No, he got me. He did. He got me. And I mean, you can see when we take off, he spun a little bit, but you can see, like, man, I was rolling smoke off my tires for days. Like, it was spinning the whole entire 8th mile until I finally let off the gas because I knew I wasn't catching him. So I just fucking was like, all right, we're done with this.
Right.
Like,
Now, if we look at this shot of the finish line, that's pretty close to the finish line. That's like fucking 4 or 5 cars, right?
oh, yeah, dude, he put it on me. I'll admit it. He did. He fucking whacked me good.
But obviously, you go back to the pits, right?
I thought
Uh,
I lost.
yeah,
I 100%, like, So I questioned. I was like, man, did he jump or like what the hell? Like,
Right.
oh well, whatever, you know. So I go back to the pits, I go to load the car up. I was opening the ramp. When they come out, I think it was Richard was like, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?" They
Mm.
called you win, and I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, he jumped," and I was like, "Oh, okay, well, like, all right, well, I wasn't sure, like, well, I'm gonna go find out." He goes, "Yeah, you need to go find out because, they called you a winner, so you need to go, figure out what's going on." I was like, "All right, cool, let me go see what's up." So I went right to Andy's camp. I didn't go to the flagger. I didn't go to none of my other crew guys and try to rally him up to go complain. I went right to Andy's camp by myself. And he was like, "Hey man, good race. Sorry about the starting line stuff. Yada 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 about the fire stuff." Uh, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, fuck yeah, you fucked me up. Good shit. I think they're calling you as a jump though." And he goes, "What? Well, we looked at all of our videos already. It looks clean." And then I looked at one of the videos that his guy had, and you could see the tire roll just a little bit on their video.
Mm.
I don't want to argue, man. I'm not trying to fight with all my people. Andy, I consider Andy a really good friend, like
Mhm.
a brother, Like,
Yeah.
um, right about that time, Tim come walking up, Tim Rigby, because he was at the starting line, and then he went to the restroom, and then was walking back right by where Andy's pits were. So he didn't even know. So he just happened to see me and was like, "Hey, you know, they called that race a jump. You're good. They called it. Like they reviewed the tape already. The race master called it." And I was like, "All right, well, Andy," because Andy was like, "Well, fuck, they already called it."
Right.
And Tim was like, "Yeah, dude, they called it. They looked at the video already. It was a jump. Josh looked at the video. He's the one that has the call, whatever it was." And Josh called it a jump. He could see it on his phone or his camera, whatever they have. And so Andy said, "Okay, well," didn't really say anything. So I said, "Hey, if you go protest it, I'm not saying nothing.
Right.
I know you got the faster car than me right now. I'm struggling. I can't get this fucking thing to go down the road. It's blowing the tires off ridiculously, and I don't know. I don't ever spin that bad.
Right.
Like I never have that this much of an issue." So I said, "Dude, you go complain. I'm not saying shit. You won't hear me rebuttaling it or nothing. You go protest." So I went back to my camp. And at this time, I didn't know if he went and protested or not or what had happened. I didn't hear anything else. I don't know if he was just good with it or what. I went to the driver's meeting. I did ask Josh Edwards at the driver's meeting, was everything good with the jump or the call? Did Andy come up? And he said, "Yep, everything's good. It was called the jump. You're still in." I said, "Okay, cool." Well, here I am at the driver's meeting. It wasn't until, a couple days later, Andy had mentioned on his post, which I see the post on the screen there.
Yep.
Andy had mentioned on his post that he went and
He got
complained, but got told no or whatever. That he went and protested, but got told that it was called a jump.
pretty much got cheated on, and then he shared this video that I have on the screen. And there's gonna be a better quality video once this video is final.
Yeah,
But yeah,
of course.
so and that kind of started a big ruckus, right? And this is where I kind of want to jump in because I had something happen to me kind of like this at Chuckwalla where things were said back and forth, right? And I'm the type of person where I don't say things if it's none of my concern, right? It's none of my business. It's one of those things where opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, so we don't want somebody else's opinion, right? So I
I mean,
remember.
I like buttholes, bro. So don't be fucking scared of me with some shit like that, bro. You guys know what she looks like. You know what I'm saying? No,
uh,
I'm just
so
kidding.
if if you see both posts that were made, one by you, one by Andy, I didn't say anything, but where it did hit home is where you said it sucks that I always try to be good and fair with everybody, but I always get painted as the bad guy. And
Yep.
that's where I was like, okay, you know what? I am gonna say something because it's true. you're my guy, you're my boy, and I do see sometimes people go off on you and say shit that I it's not fair.
Yeah,
Just
it is what it is. It comes with. I've learned among talking with Nate and everybody else. It comes with being successful, and it's
yeah,
gonna
100%.
probably get worse. And it is what it is. Um, it
100%.
just sucks.
I
There's some people that you think that are closer friends than what you would think, you would thought, but it is what it is, and you just learn to take it with a grain of salt and move on.
thousand
But
percent.
you're right though. Like there's been several situations in the past in races where I tried to be the nice guy and I was trying to help and
Yeah.
or just trying to fucking work shit out, and I got thrown into the middle of it
Yep.
and tried to made out to be the bad guy.
Exactly, and that's where I'm glad you put it that way. That it just it's what comes with success. Like, and I have this conversation with Nate all the time that success comes with hate, and just people don't want to see other people doing better than them. So it sounds very like cliche. Sounds very I mean, it's true. It's 100% true, and I was watching this video and I was just sitting there like, oh my god, like it's frustrating because a lot of people were saying shit. Oh, that they didn't say your name, right? But they were saying, oh, the other guy should, just be a man or whatever, and what is it?
What?
Something around the
Well,
lines.
yeah, for sure. What got me was watching the comments of people say like, "Oh, the other guy had to cheat to win," or "the other guy was scared," or you know what I
Yes,
mean? Like that
yes.
stuff, man.
Like, bro, come on.
I'm gonna say that shit right now because I know you're gonna put in the video. I put more work in than any other car in Arizona. Period. I have the most consistent car on the streets of Arizona. Period. I have the fastest small tire street race car on 28s in Arizona. Period. I do not need to cheat my way to a win when I can
Shoo!
drag anybody's ass anytime I want. We can get it on a prep road. I don't need to cheat my way to a win. I earn my wins. I lose sometimes. Fuck yeah, I do. We lose, man. We all struggle. This Saturday was a struggling day for me. I fucking man, I got my ass kicked.
Right.
I'm not even gonna admit it, or I'm not even gonna lie. I'll admit it.
Now,
But normally, half these motherfuckers that are on there talking shit, they will never line up. They would never grab a lane with me because I'll drive out of all their fucking lives.
I love this. I love this. And I just want to add something before people are like, "Oh, Revs is just kissing ass to Brent." Dude, I am nobody to kiss ass to nobody. I mean, it already happened to us in Chukwala. We had a disagreement. Like, I'm not like if I have a point of view, I'm not gonna just go and be like, "No, Brent is right." Like, dude, we've had our disagreements. I'm not gonna always fucking agree with Brent. Uh, just because he's my boy, right? Like, at the end of the day, we're different. We have our different point of views. It's I'm not kissing ass to nobody. But this particular case, right? I was looking at this video and I'm like, okay, it doesn't show what happened before the light, right? What we want to know if it's the tire cracked before the light came on, and it's not showing that, so it kind of defeats the purpose. Does that make sense?
No,
Right?
for sure, for
the
sure.
the question is what happened before the light, and if you pay attention at this video, again at the final video, it's gonna show it perfectly. It's not showing anything before the light, so it's like, yo, who are you guys trying to cheat, right? And I know I'm probably gonna get into some shit after this, but I just want to be fair to the people that are always fair to everyone, and I only thought it was right to speak up for you, Brent, because I was like, yo, there's just way too many people talking shit for my guy. Now, we go to the next video, the one that you posted, right? This one actually does show what happened before the light, right?
Now to the background of this video. This video came. This is their official
Tire crack video.
video. Yes, whatever. So I think that they edited. They zoomed in and edited so it's only on Andy's car because I think you could normally see both cars.
Mm.
But they zoomed in and slowed it down. You know what I mean? This is from the track officials. Like this is what they made the call on.
Right. And again,
I didn't have this until 2 days after the race. I didn't even see this video until 2 days after the race, which is today when I made the post.
and again, like I said, this is probably gonna put me in some shit. But at this point, like I said, where the comment that got to me, where it hit home, is where you said, "I always try to be fair and nice to everyone, and I always get painted to be the bad guy." And this is where I felt like I need to step in as well, especially as a content creator, because a lot of things were said not only about you, and about the flagger, and the people running the show, and I was like, "Yo, this is not fair." Are we really talking shit about people that are like I got to meet Josh and Chuck and dude, they seem like genuine people, bro. Like they're doing this for the car community, right? Like bro, like who like okay, Brent, how much did you pay them to help you out?
Yeah, I couldn't. When I seen those comments about the flagger was in my pocket, I will openly admit I talked shit about the flagger. I
Yeah,
said that the flagger sucked. I didn't even know who the flagger was.
right.
Not until today when he called me, and it's a guy on my Facebook who's been on my Facebook for like probably 5 years, and I was like,
Yeah.
huh, what's this guy calling me for, you know? And he's like, hey, bro, why you talking shit about me flagging, like yada yada yada, this and that? And I was like, bro, I'm like, my bad. Like, okay, let me rephrase that.
Right.
You don't suck. You just need a little bit of work.
Hey, it's fair. It's fair, and we always need feedback because or else never nothing is ever gonna be
Right.
fixed, right?
And I told him, I said, but the whole reason why it came in context like that, where I said the flagger sucked, was because I was trying to use it as ammo. Like, I was trying to explain my point where, like, how could the flagger be in my pocket? How could I have paid the flagger when I wasn't, like, the flagger sucked? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Like
what are you
you got,
talking
as
about?
in you got screwed, right? For example, with the first race against George, right? It everybody was prone to get messed up because of that. Now again, I'm not here to talk down on nobody. All I'm here to do is just say, hey, let I just want to be fair with the facts and the reality of what happened, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
It looks, I might be crazy if I'm wrong, but this looks like a clear jump, right? So to try to blame it on you, or try to blame it on the people running this event or the flagger, it's not fair. So that's my
Yeah.
point. It's not my
And
fair.
it sucks because, like I said, man, Andy's my boy, and I've been in that position. I understand that he's upset about
Right.
the jump and the call made, and 9 times out of 10, you're so upset because you jumped and you clearly beat the other guy,
Mhm.
but you lost to yourself. You're so mad. You don't know who else to be mad about. When you remember New Mexico,
Mhm. Mhm.
bro, I had everybody at that race covered.
Right.
No one at the drivers. I called everybody at the drivers meeting out. No one wanted to race me. The
Hey.
first race I raced, they said it was like their fastest car or whatever that was there, and I drove out of his fucking life. But I jumped by a split second because the fucking flashlight glistened, you know, or whatever the fuck happened.
Yep. It is what
And
it is.
dude, I had to eat crow. It fucking sucked. I hated it.
Uh.
And Andy's making points right now, like, hey, you made posts about New Mexico, so how come you're mad about my post? Well, my post didn't blast the other driver. I didn't blast the guy in the Mustang that I raced. I was
It's
mad about the crew and the people who made the call and wouldn't give me a rerun or whatever the case was, you know?
right. And ultimately, the point of why we even brought this up is it's just to clear things up, clear
Yep.
things up, and I feel like before people to try to put dirt on who Brent is and the people running this event, I feel like people need to see this and see clearly that hey, nobody's in nobody's pockets, nobody's out to cheat others, and I got nothing against Andy either. Before people take that out of context too.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Literally, it's just clearing things up, and like you said, Andy is just he like anybody would be upset that he could have clearly won this event, and it just was so close, but yet so far, and it's the comments that we need to people to see that hey, maybe.
I think my post today really helped clear a lot of things up. I've
Yep.
had a lot of people message me that were personally on his page talking shit and everything like that. I've had several of them. Surprisingly, I won't put them on blast or
Right.
whatever, but I've had them PM me. Even right now, it's ironic that I've had a few of them. I've had two of them message me right now, and say, "Hey man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry
I
that I
like that.
commented that way. You're after watching your video and looking at your comments the whole time. You never even try to talk shit.
Yep.
You've never been a dickhead in this situation. You've been genuine. Man, I'm sorry for taking the other side. You are right in this situation. The other person was wrong. I'm sorry."
I like that. I like
You
that a
know,
lot.
and that's cool. That shit that means a lot. You know,
Yep.
even though
100%.
even though he hasn't yet, I reached out to him and I was like, "Hey, bro, I can't believe you haven't said sorry yet or anything. Like, I thought we were homies. You know,
Yep.
like." And you know, it is what it is. I get it. When you're hard headed, I'm hard headed, and when you think that way, and man, I was pissed after New Mexico. Man, I'm still pissed about New
About
Mexico,
that
bro.
race, right? You gotta go back and get them.
I'm still pissed about that New Mexico race. So I understand what he's feeling. I get it,
Yep.
but like I didn't feel that way towards the other driver. I felt that way towards the crew people.
Yep.
But that was because in my case there was a clear shine of the light from the sun and their dumbass pen light. This this right here, there's a clear video of the tire moving, and I had to say I would be mad, but if that was me, I lost. I clearly lost. The tire moves. You know, the tire clearly moves.
Hey, it's gonna be 20 years in the future, and we're still gonna be talking about that little penny
Pen
size
fucking
light.
flashlight, dude. Oh my god. I
But
was giving him shit when we were out there last time too. I still like giving him shit about
oh
it.
yeah, oh yeah. I still give Hector shit, and it's funny. And again, just trying to clear things up, right? Trying to clear what happened, and I hope things don't get taken out of context because the internet loves to do that. You could say, I fucked my mom's car up, and people will say, oh shit, he fucked his mom. Like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope people understand what we're trying to do here, right? So that was Andy. You go on to the next round,
Yeah.
and
So like I said, Andy drug my ass. He jumped. We moved to the next round. I draw Shane
Shane.
Bowery.
Yeah,
Now Turbo Firebird or whatever. Man, that was a good race. So
it was. Yeah.
I had fucking like man, I have been battling it all fucking night. Like I said, I didn't know what to do. I had been talking with Tim like, hey man, I don't know. I tried this, I tried that, I tried this. So on this pass, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave it and I'm just gonna drive it all the way down through there. I'm just gonna let it spin. I'm not gonna pedal or lift or whatever.
Interesting.
Like, I'm just gonna fucking leave it
Send
and
it.
I'm just gonna let it drive it and see what happens, you know? And fucking fuck it.
Right. And it worked, right? I think
I,
you went
yeah,
straight too.
it did. I was like, fuck it. We're gonna let her spin.
I
And
think
they say spinning ain't winning, but we gonna try it and we gonna see what happens.
I think here it is. There you go. The flag goes up, the light goes up. And dude, it went straight. I mean, you're
Yeah.
smoking the whole fucking eighth
The
mile.
whole 8th mile, dude, it just rolled smoke off, and he had a good pass too. I got to give him
Yeah.
props because he just started racing that car and stuff, and like
Oh,
I mean,
really?
watching his car in the GoPro, dude, that thing was on a pass. It didn't
Yep.
spin. He made a lick. Props to him for sure.
That
Like
was
that,
good.
I was impressed, and he was right there with me. You know.
I'm almost willing to say this race was won at the light. And I might be wrong. Because you could kind of, I'll be able to slow this
Yeah,
down on the final
I
video.
put like half a car on him on the light. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can see your car move first. So, because after that, look, it's in the same frame. Everything just
Yep.
stays still. So, the fact that you're saying that that was one of his first races with that car, that's impressive, and congrats to
He's
him
been
too.
to a few. He's been to a few other ones, and they go out and test. I give those guys props, man. They go out and test a lot.
Mm,
They're some of those guys that they go out and put in work. Their whole little clique, George, Way, all them. Corey helps them out, dude. They go out and test and they put in work.
that was
They're fast guys for sure. They're gonna be hard to deal with.
that was impressive hit by him and by you, especially if you were saying that you were just fucking sending it just how it was.
Yeah, you can see in the video, it just fucking rolled smoke off the whole fucking eighth
Oh, eighth
mile,
mile.
bro.
You're
Like,
you're like Cody
I
now.
yeah, that's exactly what I said. I said I'm just gonna go Cody Cook status and just let it
Yeah.
smoke the whole fucking 8th mile.
Oh,
Fuck it.
fucking eighth mile. So that was semifinals. The final versus Chino. Uh,
Man, I told Chino before the race, just don't fuck nothing up, bro. You got me covered. Like,
right.
you have me covered right now. I'm struggling. I can't get this motherfucker to go down the road. Tim come over to the car right before this race and was like, you know what, bro? Let's just try something.
Mm,
Cut all of your ramps in half
mm,
because maybe what your issue that you're dealing with is it's not the tires so much as you think. Maybe it's because you had boost leaks and you didn't know, so you got the car dialed in with significant less power because I had some pretty decent cracks.
mm.
So
Interesting.
he said maybe you got the car dialed in with significant less power, and now you're trying to go on the same tune-up, but it has way more power on the same tune-up that you're commanding, and it's just not working right because it's making way more power. That's what
Mm,
it seems like. It's leading well. It's 60 footing really good. So we cut all my ramps in fucking half,
interesting. Power of knowledge, dude. That's
and I knew that I was gonna have to be on that fucking light. I knew it. I
which
I fucking knew it.
which you were,
If he didn't wiggle, bro, he would have drove right the fuck around me.
dude. That light, you didn't even. I mean, that run, you didn't even smoke or anything.
No, it worked good because we had it so far turned down, it just made a lazy ass A to B pass. It just went right down through there.
That's all that
We had
mattered.
it. We had it turned so far down, so we finally have a baseline now. And if we would have gone more rounds or whatever, we could have gone faster. But we finally got it to go down the road, which I was happy with. I thought I jumped. They played the camera though, like dude, I let off the button right when the light came
Right.
on. Like it was in the same frame. They did the same video that they did for Andy on my car. They had the
Okay.
same camera. And mine was the exact frame the light came on. It wasn't a split second before. It was right when the fucking light came on.
Fucking
It was
treated.
crazy.
I hope nobody's. I hope nothing bad comes out of this. I really feel like maybe you guys will work out whatever you need to work out. You and Andy, and again, I congratulate you on your win. It's
Yeah, thank you.
just
Thanks, man. Like I
another.
said, I'll be the first to say we just got lucky. We had luck on our side that night. There was some other cars there that put in way more work that earned it more than we did, but they just honestly just lost to themselves.
Yeah.
There's no shame in my game. I didn't have the fastest car at this race. I'm happy to get the win, and winning's awesome. I got lucky, got on a few rounds, so that's how I got my W. But I man,
Hey.
it is what it is. You win some, you lose some, you earn some. Sometimes you get lucky. I've never got lucky before, so I'll take it. It was good to
Right.
get lucky finally.
Uh, Another one for the books, and I hope you start buying like a shelf for your future trophies, man. Because I really do believe you're gonna start racking them W's up. So, Brent, I do appreciate your time, bro. Again, guys, if you guys want to check out his channel, I'll leave it on the screen. Instagram, Facebook. This guy's down to earth, really entertaining content. And I hope you keep bringing it, because
Yeah, I
man,
gotta get some funny videos made. I've been posting like some serious race videos, but I need to get some goofy ones with me working on the car and being my normal self too,
that's what
because
I was gonna say. Yep,
that's what a lot of people want to see for sure. I
exactly.
I know that. That's what like the TV show when they air, like that's what the guys told me. All the street outlaw guys told me, man, if you don't have a YouTube, you need to get it going. You need to post videos of you.
Yep.
People are gonna want to see you, and I'm excited for those. We got some Street Outlaw shows coming out, the Locals Only show, and then Mega Cash Days, as well as Fastest in America. So 3 different shows
I like that,
supposed
man.
to be coming out in like the end of January, February, something like that. So
And that's literally what I was gonna tell you, man. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. That's what people like, and success is the only thing that's gonna come after that. So, congrats again, and now I'll get to editing on this video, and I do appreciate your time, brother.
yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate the opportunity. It was a good time, man. Just real quick, I just like to give a big shout out to all my guys that always help me, all the Outlaw guys, Jason, Richard, Tim, all them guys always fucking give me the shirt off their back if I ever needed it. I appreciate it. Sponsors, man, UPR suspension, always helping me out. Focus Law, always hooking me up with a little gas money to get to the races and stuff. Always helps me out. They got Nitrous Express on there, Fahey
Nice.
Tune, Brad Fahey, all them guys. Just everybody that makes my program. It wouldn't be a program without everyone that's a part of it. So
100%. I like that, man. That's awesome.
So
Brent,
thanks, man. Thank you,
yeah,
FC.
you have a great night, man.
You too,
All
brother.
right, I'll see you.